You ever hear someone say, men are just so hard to read? Like there's some ancient scroll you need a PhD to decode. But here's the twist. Sometimes they're not hard to read at all, because there's this strange, invisible flip that switches in their head, and suddenly they're all in, hooked, gone, and they couldn't even explain it if they tried. Let's just get down to business.
Number 1, touch him. No, I don't mean his groinal region. I just mean touch him somewhere, even innocently on the arm.
Seriously, just that little touch can light up his whole nervous system like a Christmas tree.
Because on a date, when two people haven't even touched, made physical contact for the entire date, and then all of a sudden, one of them has got to think about leaning in and kissing the other one, that feels like going from 0 to 60 miles an hour. But if you've been introducing light and carefree touch throughout the date, kissing is a much more natural progression. Number 2, take a sip. When you take a sip of your drink, it engages your lips, so it draws attention to them. But at the same time, if you look away, it has the added benefit of giving him a moment to look at you and take you in without you staring right back at him.
It's subtle, it's classy, and it drives him wild without him even knowing why.
That is something that we actually don't get to do that frequently on a date. And when someone is looking at us, that's when they get a chance to really get attracted. Number 3, glance at his lips. Now, the more slowly you do this, the more seductive it's going to be. But if you take a moment to look into his eyes and then look down at his lips and then back up at his eyes, that moment becomes a very seductive moment, even if it's unconscious, even if he doesn't know that you're actually looking at his lips. He registers that you're taking him in a different way.
Glance at his lips, and that's what sparks the tension, the good kind. It's not about saying anything, it's about being felt. You're giving him just enough to wonder, did that mean something? And that little mystery? That's what sticks in his mind all.
Number 4, when he looks at you in a certain sexy way, maybe he smiles with it, I want you to say to him, you can't look at me like that. The words "you can't" followed by looking away creates this real tension in the moment. You're telling him something he can't do, always very sexy when done playfully. And in that moment, when you look away, there's that vulnerability to it too. It's like he's doing something to you that he shouldn't be.
It's playful resistance mixed with just enough surrender, and that's magnetic. You're not shutting him down. You're pulling him in, daring him to break the rule you just made. The glance away makes it feel like you're battling your own attraction to him, and he feels that inner conflict. In that split second, he's not just attracted, he's captivated, wondering what it is about him that's getting under your skin.
Number 5, do the cute act. Choose a moment when he's teasing you to give him a serious face when he thinks you should be laughing and say, don't be mean to me.
Do the cute act. It's that soft switch up that catches him off guard in the best way. You go from playful to pouty, just enough to melt his heart a little. It shows vulnerability without weakness, charm without trying too hard. And that one line, "Don't be mean to me," suddenly makes him want to protect you, not just tease you.
And when someone's being cute and adorable, you just want to grab them and kiss them. That's the effect we're going for.
Exactly, that irresistible mix of sweet and shy that makes him want to pull you close and never let go. It's like flipping a switch from playful fun to heart-melting affection in an instant. That moment when words don't matter, and all he wants is to show you how much he cares. Because honestly, who can resist a little adorable charm like that?
One of the biggest issues that I believe women experience with men is how to communicate their standards. The first problem for a lot of women is that they don't know what their standards are. They've never really articulated to themselves what is okay and what is not okay for a guy to do around me. What am I looking for? What kind of treatment do I expect? And even when they know what those standards are, how do I actually communicate these standards to a guy in a way that doesn't make me seem like a nag? Too stubborn, high maintenance? Am I gonna come across as aggressive? Of course, people also have that fear of confrontation. I might not like what he just did, but I don't wanna confront him because I don't wanna create friction or awkwardness. Many people won't admit this out loud, but it's the reality. Communicating standards can be a very difficult thing. The sad part is that communicating your standards is one of the most attractive things you can do. If you know how to do that, you will get a guy attracted on a completely different level than other women can.
Setting clear standards isn't just about rules. It's about showing self-respect and confidence that naturally draws him in.
So if you're avoiding communicating your standards, if your tendency is just to be passive, to hide the way you feel, or just to put your guard up and distance yourself from a guy so that he can't hurt you, but at the same time, he never really understands, you're missing out on a really amazing opportunity to influence guys and create attraction. So how do you communicate your standard to a guy? Let's say a guy at the end of a first date says, "Do you want to come home with me?" However he says it. Guys each have their own special way of saying this. How do you deal with this question in a way that articulates your standard but doesn't create unnecessary friction or make things awkward between you? I've thought about two types of women that get this wrong. One type of woman who gets it wrong is the woman who is overly aggressive. She's the one who, when he says it, she says, "Are you kidding me? You think I would come back to your house after one date?" That's the woman that creates confrontation, bruises his ego, and makes him feel like he doesn't want to take any chances with her again. Then there's the woman who's kind of a little too sweet. She's too passive. Now, she may go one of two directions. She might say to him, she might make excuses and say, "You know what, I have so much work to do in the morning, I have to get up early, so I can't, but hopefully I'll see you later this week." So he never really knows that it was too fast-paced for her. All he knows is she made an excuse. Whether it was legitimate or not, he doesn't know, but he doesn't know what her standard is. The other type of sweet person or passive person goes home with him, even though it's not her pace to go home with someone that quickly. She does it because she doesn't want to create confrontation and she doesn't want to make things awkward, and she likes him, so she thinks, "I do like him and I do want to be close to him." So she goes back to his apartment. Maybe she has sex with him, maybe she doesn't, but she gets taken into a situation that she doesn't really want to be in. So neither of these work very effectively.
Mastering how to set your boundaries confidently and with kindness changes the whole game. It keeps things smooth, honest, and builds genuine respect without any awkward drama.
Communicates standards, but doesn't create any excitement for the guy. The aggressive woman, she shows her standard, but she doesn't necessarily get like excitement and continue the tension in a good way. She creates bad tension. And the woman who's too sweet, she doesn't create any sense of respect. Now, there's a concept in the food industry. When they're manufacturing food, they're looking for the optimal ratio of salt and sweet that stops you from being satiated, that stops you from being full, that keeps you wanting more, to the point where in food is what makes you overeat, right? Because you eat something and it's got that exact right level, which they have measured, they know. It's got that exact right level, and then you go, "I want another one. Just one more. I want another one. I want another one. I want another one." And you keep eating and you don't lose your appetite because it's the optimal level. It's called the bliss point. The bliss point applies perfectly to communication with men. We are always looking for the bliss point in communication.
The bliss point is that sweet spot, just enough to keep you craving more without overdoing it. And it's not just for food, it works wonders in communication too. Say just enough to spark interest and curiosity, and let him lean in for more.
What is the optimal level of salty and sweet when you communicate your standard. In our example before, the woman who was overly aggressive, a little too salty, right? Didn't create any excitement, didn't create any more desire, just created tension in a bad way, not the good tension. The one who was too sweet didn't show any standards. She wasn't salty enough. So now she just, at the end of it, he's gonna get bored with her because she doesn't have standards, it seems, and he doesn't end up respecting her, and that means he gets less attracted. There is a woman who in this situation achieves the bliss point. She's the woman who says to the guy, you know what, there's a part of me that would love to, because you're super attractive, but it's not my style to move that quickly. I don't move that fast. But if you want to take me out later this week or next week, I'd love that. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that because I want you to watch what happens in each step. There's 3 steps to this. 1, you know what? There's a part of me that would love to go back with you because I think you're really attractive. 2, but that's just not my style. I don't move that quickly. 3, if you want to go out this week or next week, however, I'd love that. That would be really cool. Now, these 3 things, what you've done is you've started by showing attraction. There's a part of me that would love to go back with you because I think you're super attractive. There you're creating all of these, like, this tension in a good way, these fireworks, these sparks, this desire. He's like, oh my God, she wants me. But part 2, I'm telling you my standard. I don't move that fast. That's not my style. I just don't move that quickly. He hears your standard now. And then lastly, you open the door for him to step up his game. So you say, but if you want to do something this week or next, I'd love that. That would be cool. This is the bliss point. This is the woman who has got the optimal level of salty and sweet that makes a guy want more, that stops a guy from being satiated, that makes him think, I need another one. In this case, it's another date, right? I need to see her again because she achieved the bliss point. I'm not gonna lie, when I was sitting there and this thing clicked for me, this idea of the bliss point, it might be one of the most exciting concepts that I've come across and thought about for attraction and human dynamics in general in a very, very long time.
Because once you understand how to hit that bliss point, how to be just sweet enough, just bold enough, you stop chasing attention and start magnetizing it. So yeah, did that click for you? Because once it does, everything changes. If this made you smirk, nod, or suddenly want to test number 4 on someone, you're not alone. Tap that like button to keep this energy going and subscribe for more game-changing insights that'll have him falling head over heels and not even knowing why. Because once you get the bliss point, baby, you're unforgettable.